In today's video, I'm going to give you a tour of our new home. Most of you know that my husband, Sammy, and I left Paris about 6 months ago. And that for the last 6 months, we had been living out of a suitcase while my husband was taking some classes in Ohio and in Virginia. Sammy and I arrived here in San Diego about 3 weeks ago. So we have been living in this place for about 3 weeks now. And my husband is now in Africa. And by the way, while we were still living in Paris, I made a video explaining why Sammy and I are moving to San Diego and my husband to Africa. If you have not seen that video, I will link it down below. It was a very emotional video. I was very emotional. And under that video, I got the most heartwarming comments. Thank you so much. So this apartment, my husband purchased when he was stationed here in San Diego in the early 2000s. He lived here for a couple of years. It was his bachelor pad, and then we had been renting it out ever since. I had never seen the place. So when we left Paris, we flew into San Diego to take a look at what state the apartment is in. And it was quite worn because, again, we had been renting it out for about 15 years. So my husband said, let's do some cleaning and some painting. He really wanted to paint the bathroom behind me. He hated the color. So he went to Home Depot to look at colors, and he came back and he said, let's remodel the whole place. So we did. We were here for 5 days in San Diego before going to Ohio. So in 5 days, we picked out everything. The flooring, the paint, the kitchen cabinets, the vanities for the bathroom, all the fixtures. It was actually quite fun. I had never remodeled a place, so it was really fun to get to pick out everything together and make it our own. I think one reason my husband wanted to remodel this place is because he was a bit worried that living here on my own, of course I have Sammy, thank God, but being without him, I would feel quite sad. Which of course I do, I miss my husband, but making this place beautiful has definitely helped. And we made it in a way so it would make it really easy for me to film, to practice self-care. In fact, I have all these little stations throughout the house that make practicing self-care quite easy. I'll show you. So without further ado, let me give you a tour of our new home. So right as we come in to the left is a half bath / sauna room. And I will put pictures of what everything looked like before so you get an idea. But I think one of the things my husband was most excited about picking out was these fancy seamless toilets. I'm not sure why it's a toilet, but he was super excited about it. And then over here, I put my portable infrared sauna, which if you have been here for a little while, you have heard me rave about. However, you might remember that I had the exact same one in black. That one was European power, so my husband took it to Africa with him, and I actually have a discount code with this company. So I used my own code to purchase this white one, which I think blends in nicely, or as nicely as it can. I'll show you really quickly. So like I said, this is an infrared sauna. You turn it on and it goes up to 170 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, you don't have to go that high. You can go lower, but that is where I like to be. You can set a timer, and then it has infrared panels throughout. And this foot pad right here is also infrared. It heats up. So my feet go right here, I sit right here, I zip this up, my head sticks out of here, and then I use this almost daily for about 30 minutes or so. I actually made a whole video on the benefits of heat therapy. If you have not seen that video, I will link it down below. As we come back out into the hallway, and by the way, the buzzing sound you might be hearing is coming from behind this door. It's the air conditioning unit I hope it's not too distracting. So as we come back out into the hallway, we come straight into the kitchen. And the kitchen is one of my favorite parts of this apartment. Looking at the before pictures, you can maybe see why my husband thought renovating the place would make me feel a bit less sad living here without him. It was quite dark and worn looking before, and even a bit masculine. But now, like I said, the kitchen is one of my favorite parts of this apartment. I am really glad we put this island in, because not only is it giving me extra counter space, which there was hardly any of before, but also plenty of extra storage, which again there was hardly any of before. And then we took out the dark tile and throughout the whole house put this laminated vinyl, which I think looks beautiful and is really easy to take care of. On our fridge, we have magnets of all the places, all the cities and countries my husband, Sammy of course, and I have been together. In fact, we added it up a while ago, and Sammy has been to 21 different countries, which is quite impressive for a little chihuahua. I kept all the appliances I like to use on a regular basis, like my blender, my Instapot, out so that it would be easy for me to make healthy meals and I don't have to dig them out of the cabinet. This big farm sink was one of the first things my husband and I picked out. We saw it, we fell in love with it. And over here we have the Big Berkey, which is a water filter we have been using for several years now. It has carbon filters in it, and you can see all the water residue on the inside. So this is what it filters out. So it filters out chlorine, pesticides, all kinds of things. And then in the bottom I put some fluoride filters, which we didn't need in Europe because Europe doesn't fluorinate the water, but here in the United States we of course do. And then right next to the Big Berkey I have my electrolytes, so I can just easily pop them into my water bottle. This living room floor and these stairs right here were actually hardwood, and while it was beautiful, it was quite worn. So again, we replaced it with this laminated vinyl. And of course we are downsizing from the humongous apartment we rented in Paris to this about 900 square foot place. So a lot of our furniture did not fit, but I also didn't want the place to be too cluttered. For example, I left this space open on purpose so I could easily roll out my yoga mat, which you can see under the stairs, and practice some yoga. By the way, if you're somebody who loves to practice yoga and you're looking for a good mat, this mat is the best mat I have ever had. It is a Lululemon, and honestly, normally I'm not too fond of Lululemon because I think they're just crazy overpriced. But this mat is worth every penny. I will link it down below in the info box in case, again, you're looking for a good mat. One of the first things I did when I moved in here is to go plant shopping. I love plants, they make me happy, and I don't think you can ever be surrounded by too many plants. And then we put this film on the window down here for some privacy because we are on the first floor, but I didn't want curtains. I wanted this to stay nice and open. This TV stand my husband actually built for us during the pandemic out of pallets, and I really like it. I think he did a great job. And then the stairs and the railing are one of the few original things left in this apartment. These stairs are hardwood and I think they're gorgeous, and I do think the laminated vinyl matches pretty well. So let's go upstairs into the bedroom. I am trying to move as slowly as I can to not make you dizzy, and I hope I'm doing an okay job. I really love this bedroom. It has a very cozy and relaxing feel to it. The only thing, this apartment unfortunately does not have a lot of storage. This tiny closet is it. But luckily my husband built me a dresser and an armoire I'll show you in a second. He didn't build those from scratch, but he put them together. And then this is the room again that started it all. This is the room my husband really didn't like the color of, and you can probably see why, but I think now it looks beautiful. I love this blue tile, and we decided to go European with a handheld shower and American with an overhead shower head. However, I am trying to find a shower filter to attach to this shower head. If you have any suggestions, please leave them down in the comments. And then over here is another fancy seamless toilet, which my husband was so excited about. And then here is laundry. And behind the bathroom door, I hung my full body LED panel, which I also love and use quite frequently. Now, some of you have asked me, if you already have an infrared sauna, why do you need an LED panel? Which is a great question. And first of all, of course, you don't need either. But they do serve different purposes. So in an infrared sauna, the LED is used to heat the body, which then creates a hormesis effect, meaning we are hopefully stressing the body just the right amount, so the body has to adapt and get stronger. Versus an LED panel, handheld device or mask, is more for superficial purposes, such as collagen production, hair growth, injury recovery, pain management, those sort of things. Oh, and talking about those things, there's something else I want to show you, which I actually have under my bed. And I probably have to put this phone down to just get it out from under here. So this is a PEMF mat, which stands for Pulsed Electromagnetic Field. You plug it in, and then you turn it on, and it has different heat settings, as well as 4 different programs which have different wavelength. You lay on it and all kinds of wonderful things are supposed to happen. Now, to be honest, the company sent this to me to try quite a while ago, and I have been using it ever since I moved in here. I use it almost daily for about 20 minutes or so. I just lay on it and meditate, but I can't tell you yet that I have noticed any benefits. However, I will continue to use it and keep you posted. But the reason I wanted to show this to you is that I try to set this apartment up to make practicing self-care pretty easy. So again, I just have this under my bed and I can pull it out easily. Now, of course, a lot of the things I do to practice self-care are not inexpensive, like this mat. And again, I can't tell you yet that I have noticed any benefits from using it. If you have one of these mats, please share your experience with it down below in the comments. But of course, my infrared sauna, my LED panel, those things are not inexpensive. But there are plenty of things we can do to practice self-care, which are inexpensive or even free, such as to create a bit of space to practice yoga, to meditate, to stretch, or even just having certain appliances easily available so we can easily make healthy meals. And talking about self-care, I am actually going to take you back into my bathroom for a second, because skincare, of course, is one of the ways I like to practice self-care, and I know many of you do as well. And I am very lucky to get sent quite a bit of skincare in PR. In fact, I have a whole basket full of skincare right here, which I have not been able to use because I only have one face. And I would love to pack some of the skincare up and send it to a couple of you. There is some really beautiful skincare in here, but again, I only have one face. So if you would like to receive some of this skincare, please let me know down in the comments. And then again, I will pack some of this up and send it to 2 of you. And then lastly, I will show you my office. Now the bedroom floor, the stairs and the catwalk used to be carpet. And while this is our condo, we actually had to ask for permission to remove the carpet. And I'm really glad we got permission because I think it just looks so much nicer this way. And then this right here is an air filter I run all day long. I turned it off because it is a bit noisy. But some of you have asked me for recommendations for a good air filter. This is just one we picked up on Amazon. It works fine, but if you have any recommendations for a good air filter, please leave it in the comments. I'll turn it on for a second to show you. It is a bit noisy, but I actually at night really like this noise for white noise. It helps me sleep, but I'll turn it back off so it's not too distracting. And then over here is my little office. So this is where I film, edit, work on my computer. And my husband got me this adjustable desk, which I love, because I used to sit on my butt editing for hours. And of course, sitting is not that great for us. So now I can adjust it. I can stand in between. I can sit back down when I want to. I'm really happy to have one of these desks. I always wanted one. And eventually I might get a tiny treadmill and put it in front. And then I can have a walking desk. And then this is the other armoire my husband put together for us for some extra storage. And when I work, Sammy lays right here. She loves to look out the window. She is our little neighborhood watchdog. So this is it. This is our new home for now. My little self-care sanctuary. I will take you back down with me to give you a different perspective. But I want to say one more thing about self-care. I think as women, we often think if we practice self-care, we are being selfish. But we can't give from an empty cup. So we have to practice self-care in whichever way works for us. And I would love to know in the comments how you like to practice self-care, if you don't mind sharing. I really hope you enjoyed this little home tour. Thank you so much for stopping by, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye.